Now, we're going to be talking in a few minutes about the difference between driving in the city, the open road, and a freeway. In all cases, the following distance that you have behind another vehicle will be 2 to 3 seconds, okay? 2 to 3 seconds. It depends on how fast you're going. Sometimes it has to be 3 seconds. In the city, in city driving, most of the time, it's 2 seconds. But on the freeway, when you've gone a little bit faster, it should be 3 seconds. Now, let's talk for the sake of argument, just to show you, let's pick 3 seconds. Let's say that you're in a car, car B, and you're following car A. In the old days, everybody used to have to, like multiply 8 and divide by 6 and add 6 and all that stuff. You had to have a mathematics degree to figure out how far back you had to be from the car in front of you. Now it's so simple. At any speed, this works. You pick a stationary object on the side of the road. You let the car in front of you pass it, and then you count 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. If you only get to 1,001, slow down because you're too close. A stationary object would be like a tree or a telephone pole, or for some of you people, a red light. What we would like to do, though, is divide defensive driving into driving in the city, driving on the open road, and driving on the freeway. So we're going to divide those 3 topics up. On a freeway, there are things that you're going to run across that you have to prepare for. People cutting across several lanes of traffic. Don't you hate when people do that? A little bit later, we're going to be doing pet peeves, where you get to talk about things on the road that bother you. That is one of the things that really bothers me. When people, they decide they want to exit, and they just kind of all of a sudden cut across and do that, cutting everybody off. Earlier, we told you have to signal for at least 100 feet before you change lanes. Well, you must also ride for 50 feet in each lane. Some of you have been doing this, and it's not right, and it's just very unsafe. So you've got to ride 50 feet in each lane so you can look over your shoulder and see what's there. Many times you're riding in one lane here and some guy just cuts across you. That's not a good thing. Another one of my pet peeves, I hate this, and you're going to hate it too. When you're in a car and it's all crowded and you have a traffic jam and this is an exit lane on the side, some guy will pretend that they got to exit and they come up way ahead of here and they just cut in front of everybody else. Don't you hate that? That's the very definition of passing on the right. And that's illegal. If I was a police officer, I would say that this is not only passing on the right, but unsafe lane change. You cannot do that. Don't do it anymore. The law says that when there's enough room for 2 cars to pass, and one car's turning left, you can go ahead and pass them on the right in that same lane. And on the freeway, you can be passing on the right, but you cannot pass on the right when other cars are stopped. That's definitely illegal. Another thing that people do, by the way, in the city, is that when you have cars parked, and then there are no cars parked, people will do the same thing. They'll pretend that they'll go in where the cars are parked and it's empty, and then they cut in front of the other cars. Don't do that. That's illegal. Now, let's go back to the freeway. The next thing that they recommend that we talk about is people not signaling. People will turn on the freeway without signaling. You know why? You put on your signal a lot of times, what do people do? They pile up to keep you from getting in. Isn't that sad? Merging on the traffic from the on-ramp. So people will be coming in from the on-ramp and they'll cut in front of you. People go past their exit. Have you ever done that? You're driving and you say, oh, my exit was way back there. I have seen people actually do that. They back up. Don't do that. That's extremely dangerous. The proper thing to do is go down to the next exit, loop back on the freeway or the highway, and then exit at your proper exit, of course, okay?